What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Sunman, the rap god, Mr. Awesome. And today I'm taking a look at Zero A.D. I've played this game a little bit today, and today's the day I got it. So I by no means am a pro, but I have a basic understanding of this game because I've played previous versions of Age of Empires, and this is kind of a spin-off of them. So let's get right into it. We have single player here, and I'm going to just do a normal match. Now, when you're creating a normal match, the first thing you're going to want to mess with is the map type, and you're going to want to decide if you're going to do a pre-made map, which is one of these, or if you're going to want to do a random map, which is basically you have more freedom over what the setting is going to be and how many players there are and stuff. Right now I'm just going to stick with skirmish because it's going to be easier for us. And I'll start by explaining what all this means here. Color, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can change what color your base and people are all going to be. Next we have the AI, which right now there's only one type, and it's the Petrobot, but I'm sure in the future they'll add more different types. Some that'll be harder, some that'll be easier, some that'll attack in different styles and things like that. You can also change the color of your enemy. And this little settings bar here is, like I said, probably where they're going to add more bots. And you can change the difficulty of the enemy. I'm just going to put them on hard. And for random, here where your civilizations are, you can choose what type you're going to be. And unlike previous Age of Empires games, this actually matters now. And I'll show you why. If you click civilization here, you have all these different stats basically for the one you choose. So say I chose the Athens, basically, is what I call them. It'll tell you the perks you get for them and what that perk is called. So if I choose them, I have all these perks. And it also gives you a little bit of a history lesson so you can learn while playing. Yippee. Britons, see, they all have different troops, different perks, different things they're going to excel at, and their own little history. I personally will choose Persians for this one, because I know Persians usually have the elephants, and that's pretty cool. And so the way you choose your civilization is you click right here, and you find the one you want. I don't really care about the enemies right now. And now that you've got this all set up, you can now mess with these down here. So once you've chose skirmish or a random map, you can choose the pre-made map you're going to want to play on. I am probably going to do something interesting. There was one I was playing on earlier today, and it had a river going through it, and it looked really nice. I can go with this map. This map looks cool. It's kind of in the mountains with a bunch of trees. And one thing I should point out, if you didn't notice just barely, is if you put all your settings and change the map, it resets them. So make sure you choose your map settings here first before actually going in and choosing your colors and your civilizations. So just let me fix that real quick. And once you're done with that, you can go into more options and change the population limit and your game speed and game type. You can actually change the game speed in game, so I don't really worry about that. Your victory is going to be, how you win the game. I just go with conquests. You can now have an unlimited population limit, which is something that the older games didn't have, that we can finally do without having to install any mods or anything. And your resources can start low, high, or about medium. I'll just put it on high. And you can change the revealed map, explored map, and a couple other things here. Now, this right here, this bottom place gives you a little description of the map you're about to play, so you can read through those when you're sorting through maps. So let's start the game. It always gives you a little quote here when you start a match, and some advice. So here we start in the middle of the map we just saw, and at first it may be a little intimidating, but I will explain how everything here works, so it'll be nice and easy for you. So first, we're going to start off by explaining the top left here. This is simply your food, wood, stone, metal, and population. The way food is gathered is either by picking from berry bushes, like these here. It is gathered from killing and harvesting animals, like these. I don't know what this guy's doing. Oh, he's going for it. And the music changes along with whatever civilization you are. And that's something I recently noticed. So now that I've chose Persians, the music's a little more fast-paced and from the Persian culture. So you just saw him kill that animal, and now he's picking up the food and returning it to the main shelter civic area. And you can also gather food from farms. Next we have wood, which pretty obviously is gathered from these trees all over the map. You just get some people to go chop them down. We have stone, which is the rocks that aren't glimmering. So this right here is metal because it's glowing. And this right here is stone because it isn't glowing. And usually the metal will have little colorful dots in it, and the stone will just be like a rock, basically. And lastly, our population, which is going to be how many people we have and our limit. And you may think, I set it to unlimited population. Why isn't it unlimited? And you have to build houses to sustain the amount of people you have and to increase it. So I have a population of 25 now, but if I order these people to build a house here, it will go up from 25 to however much it is after the house is done. And we'll wait for that and check up on that. Next we have our structure tree. And the structure tree basically tells us what our civilization gets upon, aging up. And I'll explain aging up in a minute. And so we have number 1 here, which is the age we currently are. And these are all the things we can get with it. And then we have the second age and the third age. So these big ones are the buildings that we unlock with aging up. And the smaller things are the upgrades and units. So say I'm the first age here. I have this building and all these upgrades to train and upgrade with. Once I reach level 2, I can upgrade to level 3. And once I'm level 3, I'm maxed out. Same with this. I'll have this building at age 1, but I won't have these upgrades till age 2. So that's kind of how to read this. And you can also look at the trees of other civilizations. So say I was versing a they're not cookies, but Macedonians. If I was battling them, I could look at their tree and kind of understand what they're unlocked and what they're working with. So that's how the structure tree works. And now that that's finished, right here is basically just the version of the game you're running. And next, these three are sort of important for multiplayer. The last one, this one is just important overall. And this is the speed of the game. So say I have things to do and I want the game to go by faster. I do 2 times speed. And you see this little guy, he's on a hustle. Let's say the game's going a little too fast for me. I can slow it down. And the music even slows with the game speed, I think. I'm not sure the music does, but maybe that was just a coincidence. Next up on this little row we have diplomacy, and you can send resources to your teammates or your enemies if you really want to. And lastly we have trading, and you can trade in certain resources for others. And last, with our little interface here, we have our map, and the stuff that is shown is what we have explored, and the blackness is what we need to go see. And even if you have explored something, if you don't have a troop or a building in that area, it'll just be dark and foggy. And when it's dark and foggy, you don't know what's going on in present time, but when you were last there. And this last button, Find Idle Worker, you click it and it brings you to a worker that is not doing anything. And earlier I had these guys build this house, and my population was at 29, now it's at 35. And I can build an endless amount of houses to keep this going up. But for now, I'm going to demonstrate how to get food. I'm going to do it with a farm. So I can have these guys build a farm here. And these big farms can have a max of 5 people working on them at once. And they have an infinite amount of food. And in the past games, the food wasn't infinite, and that was a big issue. And people really wanted infinite farms, and so it's nice that they've finally added that in. And they've also added, if you haven't seen already, the rotating camera and the zooming in and out. Okay, they've finished the farm now, and you can see that we have this group of people working on it. And yeah, 4 out of 5. Everything has a limit of how many people can be on it at once. This tree can have 12 people cutting it down at once. Here's a temple. I don't really... Oh, you could just train people to heal your units in there, so that's pretty nice. And next, I will explain... probably attacking. If you want to attack someone, you're probably going to need an army. And to do that, you just need a barracks. So I can build one here. You can also train people in your main town center, but I'm going to try with the barracks because they'll be stronger here. Something that they've added in this game that's unique to any other Age of Empires kind of game is the way genders play. Before, there were just males in the game, but now they have females, and the genders influence your people. And the way that works is, say you have a woman working in the fields with a guy, then the male will actually work. I think it's 10% faster because of her presence there. And so you're going to want to mix and match the males and females while working in areas. And I think that's kind of a cool idea to add into the game. These guys are about halfway done with that building. We can speed the game up, and it'll go up a lot quicker. And it doesn't look like animals' foods decay anymore, like they did in the past games. So that's gonna be nice. And I will show how the speeding up when around females works. So if I have him working on the farm, you'll see a little bucket pop up above his head, like that. And that basically means that because this character's around, he's working faster. So these guys have finished our little barracks here, and we can actually train people. So I'm gonna make a shield bearer. And training is a lot easier now, also. You can train groups of units at a time rather than clicking over and over. So if I want to train one villager, I just click it. But if I hold shift and click, I can train a lot at a time. So if I were to go click, 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 and make 5 of these, it would take 40 seconds. But if I were to train 5 in a group, it'll only take 29 seconds. So it saves time, and it's a lot easier to just have a group come out at once, rather than fill up the queue. And also, when you're doing upgrades, they show up on the side here. So you don't have to go to the building that is upgrading and mess with it. So say I want to upgrade Persian architecture. It's up here in this corner. And I can actually click it, and it'll bring me to the building that's doing it. So if last minute I want to cancel it, but I'm nowhere near the building, I can click it and cancel it. Looks like we have our little soldier trained here, and he can defend the area with his little buddy here. Let's create a priest and just have them. Now I'm going to send a little group out to go scout out the enemy and see what's going on there. And if you double click on a unit, it'll select all the other ones that are like that one. Okay, so we have the priest ready. I'm going to have him heal this guy. You can see his health is going up. Let's get these two coming in with the group, and I'm going to send them all to attack something. One advantage you have with there being pre-made maps is you know where the enemy is going to be, and you can kind of have an idea of how your strategy is going to be in the game, rather than just going in blind. And one thing I've seen that's really been upped is the graphics. These are a lot better than most games that have been made that are Age of Empires. I'm also really liking the way you can zoom in and out. I'm getting a little bit of lag here. Now I'm going to attack this little watchtower they have. Looks like they have an army pre-built. The priest was smart and bailed. But they're probably going to come after him. No, he's safe. He needs to go and die with his men. And so yeah, that's the PvP there. And I think I'm going to end it there. If you enjoyed this video and are enjoying this game, then leave a comment. If you want me to just actually play through a game like this and try to destroy the enemy, or if you want to leave a like to show that this type of video is actually interesting, then that would help me. And if you want this game for yourself, it's completely free. The only downside is that it is a beta version, so it's brand new kinda. it was recently released, but they're still updating about once a week or so. But it's nice. It's a nice game, you know. It's free, so nothing to lose there. And if you're a fan of Age of Empires or any other type of strategy game, I would recommend this. If you need any help with anything, leave a comment. And I will see everybody in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, be no young nigga with the most money. Take her home, skeeter like I'm Doug Funny. Patty mayonnaise packs in my left hand. Green light. Sounds so minimal. Smooth is criminal. I take it to your face, I don't do subliminal. Nigger than Maybach, I wouldn't say that. Nah, bullshit. So I got in your top 10. The niggas is not playing. These niggas like